Hello, replay viewers. Hello, hello, hello. How are all of you doing? I'm going to take out the headphones. Maybe I'll leave the microphone in there for now. Maybe not. A clean teen. How are you doing? Talent Attorney Join, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in. Envision Award Act. Photos by Cynthia, thank you so much. Welcome to the broadcast. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Roy. I am an accountability coach. Some people have called me the action man in the past. My company is Justify or Just Do It, which means we need to take some action. I'm doing great. Great afternoon to you. Envision Freedom. Hello, hello, Lisa Bechtal. Rewired, thank you so much for being here. Dirk Polaris, thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to reread, I think it's a phenomenal book, the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Are any of you familiar by putting a 1 in the box with the book, the 10X Rule? If so, put a 1 in the box. And I started reading it last night, and I'm like, you know what? Let me scope a chapter a day. All right, let me scope a chapter a day. So awesome, Envision Freedom. And Lisa, I know you're doing it, but it's great that you're reading it now. How far along into the book are you? And for those of you who are new to my scope, do me a quick favor. Let me know what your name is so that I could announce you and try to remember it. Diana, thank you so much for jumping in. You're in chapter 5, so this is going to be. So yes, please share it out if you guys could. It's going to drop some knowledge. I'm going to give you the highlights that I got from my perspective. Hello, Cynthia. Photos by Cynthia. I should be able to remember that pretty well. And hello, John from Temecula. Is that correct? California. Thanks, John, for letting me know who that is. So, for those who don't know, I've been on a broadcast for about 9 months. I kind of got a simple rule. Like, if you're in here and I'm dropping knowledge and you feel like the need, you can invite your followers, or at the very best, right, you tap on Little Perry Guy and come and visit me. The book is phenomenal, and I'll tell you it's by Grant Cardone. I also ask you to tap the screen just so that I know you're there, right? If a few of you are tapping the screen, I know that you guys are absorbing what I'm dropping, and that's the whole point of this. This broadcast is not about me. It's about each and every single one of you. So Diana and Envision Freedom, thank you both for inviting it out to your Twitter followers. This deserves to be seen. Awesome. I appreciate that. So, first of all, what is the 10X rule? And I'm just going to read the first sentence here by Grant, because he says the 10X rule is the one thing that will guarantee, and I believe this, the book is the 10X rule. It's about taking massive action to get the results you desire in your life, to get the success you desire in your life. The 10X rule is the one thing that will guarantee that you will get what you want in amounts greater than you ever thought imaginable, right? It can work in every area of your life: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, relationships. He uses the word familia. That's just relationships. Family, when you build relationships with people, they become your family. And financial. The 10X rule is based on understanding how much effort and thought are required of getting anything done at a successful or a highly successful level. So there's 2 parts. So the book is phenomenal. The book's phenomenal. You could get it. I don't know how much it is on Amazon. I have it both the audio version and the other book, and the actual. I don't actually have the physical book. I have multiple devices, so I read it on my phone, on my iPad, and the notes that I highlighted, I'll actually share with you guys. It's kind of cool because I'm on the PC, and this is what I love about technology, right? I get to highlight the parts I want to share with you. The blue is what I want to share with you, and the other parts are my notes for me. My name is Ryan Roy. My bio, it is my handle. My company's name is Justify or Just Do It. I am an accountability coach. So action is the idea, and people taking massive action is where it's at, right? Isn't that cool, Lisa? So if you download the free Kindle app for your computer, you can also read it there. So Focus Power, what's your name, my friend? And thanks for asking, by the way. You're new, and if you're absolutely new, thank you for joining the broadcast. Beth Momentum Salon, I want to say because it goes off. Thank you for being here. So, do you have YouTube or a website? I do have a website. It is ryanroy.me. So feel free to go there. And Matthew, and welcome to the broadcast. So there's two major parts to the 10X rule that I want to share with you guys today. Is that all right? Put a 1 in the box if it's okay if I share with you the two parts as Grant defines them of the 10X rule. Put a 2 in the box. And we will put this. So we got 1-1. So that is awesome. To live it intentionally. I love that. To live intentional. Thank you so much. Yes, RyanRoy.me. Thank you so much for putting that up. So beautiful. The first part of the 10X rule is assessing the level of effort necessary to actually realize a goal. The first part of the 10X rule is assessing the level of effort necessary to realizing a goal. I do have a YouTube. It's Justifier Just Do It. I haven't put a video up on YouTube in a year. So I do have a YouTube, but it's Justifier Just Do It. I don't typically send people there because I haven't done it. Lisa Halls, welcome to the broadcast, and thanks for inviting your followers. So think about this. So when I work with clients, they often, how many of you have been in an MLM, a multi-level marketing company, or have been introduced to one? Put like a 5 in the box. Put a 5 in the box if you've been introduced to an MLM or have been in one, right? Phenomenal, phenomenal. Afternoon. I thought I'd get 3 phenomenals. So those of you who have been introduced to an MLM, they say, hey, look, we take care of everything. All you need to do is promote the product and get people into the business and get them on a monthly or a distributor themselves, and you're going to be awesome. We take care of everything else. And they absolutely done. You've done 5 MLMs. I'm assuming you've done 5 MLMs. So what people don't talk about is the amount of people that it takes to close people, right? It's all about numbers, people. And Grant talks about this all the time in the book. He's like, you need to 10x your expectations. So if you think you need to talk to 5, you need to talk to 50. If you think you need to talk to 100, you need to talk to 1,000. And the actual numbers, I always say this to people that are in MLMs, they're like, my business just isn't growing. I said, how many people have you talked to today? And they're like, well, I haven't made calls. How many did you talk to this week? Well, I meant to talk to like 6 people. Here's the deal. Mary Joy, thank you so much for joining. Here's the deal on this. Great to see you, Mary Joy. Long time no see. And hello, Jean Marie. So I talk to people and I say, listen, if you're not talking to 100 new people a week and following up with them, your numbers could be this, 100 people a week. If you invite 100 people to a meeting or a video or something, hopefully 20 of them will show up. And if you could get 10% of them to engage either as a distributor or a business person, you'll get 4 and 4 a month. So it's like a 2% closing rate. A 2% closing rate. So people say, how do I talk to 400 people a day? Well, I'll tell you, I've been on this broadcast a very short period of time. I've already got 51 people come in a room, and I haven't been scoping as much. This is a platform that I believe you could reach a lot of people as long as you're delivering a good message. So that gives you perspective. Does that help anybody in the sense of perspective of how much action it takes to close someone in an MLM? In an MLM, I use that because it's kind of an easy area for people to understand, right? We got to touch massive amounts of people. Coca-Cola puts out ads all over the place. Super Bowl ads, billboard ads. They have different packaging on their Coca-Cola ads. Why? Because they know they need to continue to promote in order to get the results they desire. And the results they desire is for people to continue to drink Coca-Cola. Not only the current addicted Coke addicts, but all the future ones, right? As new people are being born and becoming new buyers each and every single day. Let me know that I'm still here in the room with you guys, and you guys are still in the room here with me. People follow you. That's amazing. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of consistency, Jean Marine. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. Hello, Coach Avalos. I appreciate you being here. That's right. So 53 people have come through the room. I've only hit on one point, and if anybody feels the need to share it out, if you haven't shared it out, feel free to do that. Let me do what I call a reset, and I learned this from another great periscoper. For those of you just now getting in the room, you can be like that. You just need to do it consistently. So For those people in here in the room, I'm going to address that for a second. When I first got on Periscope, for the first 4 months, count them 4 months, I scoped 3 times a day, every single day, and supported other scopers at a very high level. I took massive action. Hear that? I took 10x action in order to get where I'm at. So, if you want to do that, you need to go in and engage with other people at a high level and let them know when you're going to scope and deliver an amazing message, right? People want to follow people who have some energy. I'm not saying I'm the most energetic guy, but, yeah, it's an obsession. But I think I deliver a pretty good message. If you guys agree with that, I hope all 13 of you would agree with that. Put a 1 in the box, right? You wouldn't be here if you didn't feel as though you were getting some value. So I want to give you part 2 of the 10X rule. And for those of you who came in, I'm going to do this. Thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate those of you who are engaging and putting 1s in the box. And I was going to do a quick reset, which is my name is Ryan Roy. For those of you who are just now coming in, I am an accountability coach. Some people nickname me the Action Man because when people say they want to do something, the first question I ask is, so what are you doing about it? What's your next step? What action are you going to take? Because without action, guess how many results you get? 0. No action, no results. To be good, you need to focus or obsession. Yeah, you need some level of both, right? You need to be focused when you're on here, and you need to have a certain amount of passion or obsession to want to deliver the message. I love helping people. No traction without action. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, point number 2, the first one of the 10X rule is assessing the level of effort necessary to realize the goal, and I just described that. The second part of the 10X rule is adjusting the thinking so that you dare to dream to levels unimaginable. So what I believe, and I know this because I've read the book, what Grant Cardone is talking about here is if you want to make $100,000 a year, how many of you would like to make $100,000 a year? And if I don't see 12 ones, there's something wrong with the people in the room here. If you don't want to make at least $100,000 a year, and if some of you are already making that, great. But if you want to make $100,000 a year, you should be putting a 1 in the box right now, at the very least. And if you're making that, you should put a 1 anyway because you're already making that. So only one person wants to make $100,000. So maybe I should just end the broadcast. Do you want to go over to a private broadcast, my friend? I could create a private broadcast for the one person who wants to hear that information. Awesome. See, as I give into you, you guys give into me. Thank you, Diana, and thank you, Coach Avalos. So if you want to make $100,000 a year, he's saying set your expectations at 10x. Shoot for $1 million. What does it take to make $1 million a year? And if you fall short of your $1 million a year, if you don't make 10% of that, then guess what? Then you didn't work hard enough. You didn't do the actions necessary to do the 10x rule to reach the $1 million. But if you do the 10x rule to reach $1 million by adjusting your thinking, it's all thought, that you dare to dream to levels previously unimaginable. If you have a mindset of 100,000, you start thinking to $1 million, you're going to get there. I want to acknowledge Teach All You Know. Thank you for inviting your followers. That is Ruben Arana. Phenomenal person. And Sandra, thank you so much for coming into the broadcast all the way from Hawaii, Honolulu. Aloha to you. So the 2 parts of the 10x rule, or the first part is assessing the level of effort necessary to realize your goal, and the second one is adjusting your mindset to think that you dare to dream at levels previously unimaginable. Any questions thus far? Because I'm going to get into the 4 things, the 4 basic series of mistakes that people make when setting out to achieve their goals. There's 4 basic mistakes. Could somebody be my scribe if you plan on being in here for about 10 more minutes? 4 basic mistakes. Would you guys like to hear the 4 basic mistakes that people make when setting out to achieve their goals? Thank you so much, Ruben Arana. And phenomenal broadcast last night. I came in a little late and I left a little early, but the 15 or 20 minutes I was in there, amazing broadcaster Ruben Arana. So if you guys are not following Ruben, and if you are a follower of Christ and into art and just into intellect and wisdom on the spot, because he gets these spots. It's like, oh, wait, it's coming to me. This is good. And then he hits us with something amazing, and he does it every single time. So the 4, Ruben, throw up some emojis so people can follow you. The following is the basic series of mistakes people make when setting out goals. Number 1, and I believe I did get some followers last night. I believe I did get some followers, and I want to repay it because great broadcasters need to be recognized by other great broadcasters. So, number 1 is mistargeting by setting objectives that are too low, that don't allow for enough correct motivation. That's Ruben right there. Teach All I Know is Ruben, so follow him. Mistargeting by setting objectives that are too low and don't allow for enough correct motivation. So, we talked about this in the MLM. Most people will be like, I'm going to invite 12 people to a party to introduce it, and think that you're going to fill up the room with, like, each one of those people are going to bring a friend. Like, hey, I'm going to invite you and you bring a friend. And you know what those people are thinking? The majority of those people, they're trying to sell me something and then they want to sell my friend. I'm going to call my friend and we're going to go hang out at a movie. So you need to talk to 100 people, tell them to invite 100 people in hopes that 10 people show up. So mistargeting by setting objectives that are too low. Guys, we need to hit the masses when we want to do something. Ruben knows something about this. Anyone who's been in an MLM or in any business knows you need to reach the masses. Okay? Number 2. Who's ready for number 2? Put a 2 in the box. Put a number 2 in the box. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Now we're getting like crazy over here. Severely underestimate. So severely underestimate what it will take in terms of actions, in terms of resources, in terms of energy to accomplish whatever your target is. So severely underestimate, as I just described. You think you will invite 12 people of your friends, and they're going to invite 2 people, or they're going to invite a person each, and it's 24 people showing up. Guess what? Nobody's going to show up to that party. Nobody's going to show up to that party. And you want to know why I know? Because I've had people, I say, you need to invite 25, 30 people, and you need to have your downlines invite 20, 30 people in hopes to get like 10 people. And they don't believe me. And guess what? They show up, and they got like 2 people in the room, and those 2 people are looking at each other like, why are we here? Why isn't anybody else here? You want to know why? Because you didn't invite enough people. So severely underestimating what it takes in terms of actions, resources, and money. I was just talking to a young lady who's thinking about going into a coaching business. They're thinking about going into a coaching business. She's never talked to anybody, has never told anybody except for me. She has some business cards that she's going to do coaching. She says she's about to put in her leave of absence or notice of 2 weeks to leave her job that she does very well at. She goes, I got enough resources for 3 months to live on. What about business expenses? What about marketing expenses? What about time, energy, and effort? What about managing your time? I suggested to her, start building your business now on the side. Oh boy, right? Because she's doing number 2. She's severely underestimating. Oh, I told her. She did not put in her leave. I saved one. She's not a client. She's a friend of a friend. And he asked me to talk to her. And I started talking to her about the 10X rule, guys. Because I'm like, these are the mistakes you're making. And if she's making them, and some other people I've talked to are making them, and they haven't read the book, then I think it's my duty to share it with some of you, right? That's a huge no. Diana, how long have you been at your business? And you're still working your thing, right? Because you know it takes time, energy, effort to build where you're at. 5 years, and she has an amazing small business. And a lot of people love her product. It takes at least 2 to 3 minimum. Is it 2 to 3 what minimum? Like 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months of, you need to be in the black. Like, I didn't leave my job until my income here in my coaching exceeded all my expenses. Yeah, 2 to 3 years minimum. So it exceeded, right? And then I had to make a choice. My coach said, I said, Coach, I have too many clients and I can't bring on any others. Here's a good point, guys. Listen to this. My coach says to me, I was like, man, I haven't been able to make calls to prospective clients because I'm serving my clients and working my job. And you know what he said to me? He goes, that's awesome. You get to make a decision. I said, what decision? He goes, you get to grow your business, because if you don't have time to grow your business, there's two things we're doing in this world, people, everybody. You're either growing or you're dying. If you're not growing your knowledge base, you're losing it. If you're not growing yourself spiritually or personally, you're losing it. If you're not growing, you are dying. So if my business wasn't growing because I didn't have time to grow it, guess what? My business started to die. So he says, most people don't get to this point. You're in a great position, so you get to make a choice. Are you ready to start growing your business and owning your life? Or do you want to spend your time over here at the job and let this start to die because you're not putting in the time? And I was like, wow, when you put it that way, it's time for me to go grow my business. It's time for me to go grow my business. So if you're not growing, you're dying. But don't severely underestimate and leave your job before you have something up and running. Number 3, put a 3 in the box. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tapping the screen, showing the love. D, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. All those 3s, that means to me that you guys are ready. Carrie, you must have stepped in and I didn't see you, so I'll acknowledge you, Carrie Tennyson. Number 3 is spending too much time competing. Spending too much time competing and not enough time dominating your own sector. This is what Grant means by this. Guys, stop looking at the coach who has 5 years experience. Stop looking at the broadcaster who's been on for a year and say, oh, I can't do that. Because I will tell you my first broadcast. I sat in a dark corner. Lighting was horrible, and I had a big old pimple right there on my nose because I knew nobody would come in. But I look back at that and I say, I was horrible. So stop. That's it. The only competition is with oneself. Diana, you couldn't have said it better. You need to compete against you, and it's not about the viewers for me. It's not about the viewers for me. It's about touching those who want to stay, right? I can have 1,000 people come in, but if I only have 3 that really listen, those are the 3 that are important. The 16 of you that are in here right now are the ones that are important to me. Why? Because you've stayed to listen to all of it. There you go. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. And a LuLaRoe person, right, Aaron? You're in LuLaRoe. There's so many people probably smashing on LuLaRoe. You may be one of them. Right? But if you look at them, you say, man, how did they get there? Time, energy, effort, consistency, and probably some coaching. So sit there and compare your journey to your journey. And if you aspire to be those people, get guidance from them. Go to your upline. Find somebody up in your organization who is smashing it and say, how do I do what you do? And if it's not in alignment with you, you go find someone who's doing something that's in alignment with you. Broadcasting is not for everybody, I'll tell you that. Broadcasting is not for everybody, but for those who are comfortable doing it, they can absolutely smash it. So it was spend too much time, so dominate your market. Don't even look at the competition. Be the innovator. Be the one who's going to go out and crush it. Be the dominator, so stop competing and start dominating your own world. Read what you can. Soak up the knowledge that you can. Go out there and execute the knowledge. They say knowledge is power. I don't agree with that. Applied knowledge is power. Who agree? Put a 2 in the box if you agree with that. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Right now, when I become the teacher, right now when I just read something and I said, you know what, I need to share this with somebody, it not only helps you, but teachers, when they teach, it reinforces what they just learned. Thank you so much, Ruben, for putting in the 2. Can somebody put in a TOO for me? A TOO. Only if applied to better yourself, right? I'm applying it to better you guys. I'm applying it to better me, and then I'm going to go out and apply some of these things also. There you go. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for amusing me on my own broadcast. You guys are awesome. So number 4 is this: learn it, apply it, and teach it. Number 4, put a 4 in the box if you guys are ready for number 4. It's been a while since I've been doing these afternoon broadcasts, but I think I'm going to do a series on this book. So thank you so much for the acknowledgement, Aaron. I really do appreciate that. I need to be on here a little bit more often. And when I started reading it, I said I need to scope more, because I got all my followers and I got all of you amazing people in my life because I was super consistent. And I've fallen away from that a little bit in the last couple weeks. So I said, no, let me go back and give to these people who have given me so much, because I've got a lot of amazing clients off of here. I've gotten a lot of amazing, they say your network is your net worth. And I have such an amazing network here on Periscope. So yes, get the book. It is the 10X rule, so get it. What are you talking about this morning? The plank challenge, but we'll talk about that later. I don't want to talk about that here. 2 separate things. I'll send you a message, Sandra. So number 4, you guys already went through it. Underestimating the amount of adversity they will need to overcome in order to actually attain their desired result. Underestimating the adversity they'll overcome. If one of you want to describe that, underestimating the amount of adversity that they will need to overcome in order to actually attain their desired result, their desired goal. Now let's think about this. Right, Carrie? Right? You got it. Ruben, you understand this. We those of us who have been going through it, who have built a coaching business or have built a business or are in the process of building something, guys, I got adversity on Facebook today. I got adversity on Facebook today. Indirectly but directly, and I know it. Why? Because I did something that somebody didn't like. And guess what? I'm okay with that, because I could only control me, and I know what my actions were, and I know what I did was in integrity, and the other person doesn't see it that way because they didn't address it with me. And you are going to get so much adversity when you're doing things that people are going to be like, I don't like what he's doing. I don't like what he's doing. He did this, and that hurt me. Well, it didn't hurt you if you're doing your thing. If you're not comparing yourself to me or somebody else, guess what? It's not going to hurt you, because you just blow it off and go on to the next one, because it's wasted energy. But there's going to be a huge amount of haters. There's going to be a huge amount of adversity. There's going to be people who don't like what you say. I'm not here to please everybody, and neither are you. But you are here to show up for people who need to hear your message, and those are the ones you need to focus on. Because I probably had 100 people come through this broadcast. Some have come, some have gone. Some are going to take a nugget and run. Some are going to sit there and say, wow, that was interesting. Some are going to click on Little Perry Guy and follow me. But guess what? Some are going to come in here and say negative things. Some of them are going to say negative things outside of this. Some of them are going to sit there and tell you certain things like, and I encourage you to discern for yourself. I encourage you to say, do I like this guy or do I not like this guy? Now, I'll preface that like it's almost like the world hates me or something, right? It's not. One person said something today. Ryan smells funny. Is this smell-o-vision? Did Periscope get smell-o-vision? So here's the thing. You're going to get haters. If you're doing something right, you're going to get some haters. Fortunately for me, I have very few, but I will tell you, I try not to let it affect me. It does at some level, because I don't understand where some people are coming from. Thank you so much, Carrie. And I like me too. And I know where I am in integrity with the things that I do. And I know, like, my clients know who I am. The people who come in here and watch me know who I am. The people I engage with off of Periscope and Facebook groups and things like that know who I am. And if anything, guys, I'll share this with you. If ever somebody questions me, I would appreciate it if those people would address me and get some clarity around the situation and understand all points of view and come to a compromise or an understanding before it gets out on social media of someone. And nobody called me out. I just know it's directed at me. And that's the stuff that's crazy. Guys, we got to sit there and support each other. You can't sit there and say, hey, I support someone, and for months and months and months, and one thing happens that you don't like, and one thing that happens that you don't like, and all of a sudden you cut those people off, or you sit there and criticize them or do something. You can't let a body of work be affected by one statement or one action. Because one statement or one action does not define a person. That's why I love broadcasting and why I love live streaming, because people like Lisa Bechtel, people like Ruben Arana, people like Carrie, who's just now started doing this, people like Diana, as you guys show up consistently, I know who you are. Because you can't fake this day in and day out. You cannot fake this day in and day out. You can't come on here and broadcast and be affected by trolls and deal with them every single time the right way unless that's who you are at the core. And that's the beauty of live streaming. So I'm going to give you guys a quick recap, and then I'm going to get going. I hope you guys found some value in this. I am going to do a scope on this. There's 23 chapters, and I'm going to cover it in probably like 3 weeks. I may skip a chapter or two because of relevance or put it in. So, super quick recap is the two. I'm going to have to go to my book in the bookmarks. Give me a second. So, first part of the 10x rule, and there are two parts. We have too many broadcasts to show our character. That's it. And there's people who delete them. I got over 100 there. You guys want to go see all of them? Go ahead. You'll see me plank. You'll see me cook. You'll see me be me. You'll see me talk motivation. Whatever it is, right? So this is the 10x rule. Chapter 1. First part of the 10x rule is assessing the level of effort necessary to realize a goal. Assessing the level of effort necessary to realize a goal. Part 2 is adjusting your thinking so that you dare to dream to levels previously unimaginable, which means we are going to, I'm going to do it around, it's going to be afternoon, D. It's going to be afternoon. I don't have a set time. Give me a good time. You know what? Let's do 12. It'll be my lunch hour. I'll do it on my lunch hour. No problem. 12 o'clock every day for the next 3 weeks. Works for me. So 10x it. That's the idea. 10x it. If you want to make 100 grand, shoot for $1 million. If you want to have 10 clients, shoot for 100 clients. If you end up with 30, guess what? That's 3 times more than you set out for. Then we have the 4 areas that people underestimate. The basic mistakes that people make when setting out to achieve goals. We're talking about achieving goals here, guys. Mistargeting by setting objectives that are too low. Number 2, severely underestimating what it takes in terms of actions, resources, money, and energy. Most importantly, guys, energy to accomplish the target. Number 3 is spending too much time competing and not enough time dominating this person right here. If you're in business, dominate you. Be the best person you could be day in and day out. Grow you and grow your business. Grow you and grow your business. And last, number 4 is underestimating the amount of adversity, the amount of haters, the amount of negative stuff that's going to come at you that you need to overcome. The stuff you need to overcome. Because everyone pictures these perfect goals, right? This is a goal. Guys, I'm going to show you a goal, right? What's the shortest distance to a goal? What's the shortest distance to a goal? Anybody want to guess? What's the shortest distance to a goal? I'm going to put it here in a second. What's the shortest distance to a goal? Anybody? A straight line. And that's how we envision it when we're starting a business or starting any goal, right? The shortest distance to any goal is a straight line. Here's the deal, guys. And if you don't see my shoulder going, this is what attaining goals looks like. You get over here to the left, and you're like, oh my God, there's something cool over here. Oh my God, this live streaming thing is awesome. Let me get back on track. The live streaming thing's working. Oh my God, look, they just came out with a new Snapchat thing. There's a new filter. I should use that for my business. Oh, and let me get back online. Let me talk to people. Oh my God, Periscope's going to monetize. Maybe I should talk about that. Oh, no. Guys, talk to clients. Do whatever gets you closest to building your business. All this stuff are tools, but do the things that are necessary and utilize the tools in between, and you will get to your goal a lot faster. But everybody is like, especially on social media, that's why I use that analogy, Lisa. I call it the shiny penny syndrome, which I'll probably go over some other time. Squirrels, right? Squirrels everywhere. As people told me Busker came out, I was like, awesome. I downloaded it, and I had 400 followers, I think. And I may be extreme in that number. I don't know. I haven't been on Busker since. I got it a week after I got on. Every one of the people on Busker knew me from Periscope. Why the heck do I need to go to Busker to talk to the same people I could talk to here on Periscope? So I don't do it. Facebook I've been on for a while, so I'm on Facebook. Yup, shiny object syndrome. That's it. That's what it is. So focus on your goal, and that's why people need coaches in their life. Coaches keep you focused. Oh, where's the butterfly? What color is it? I don't see it. Is it in the... Oh, sorry. Thanks. You distracted me with the butterfly, and that's what people do. So let me acknowledge those of you who are in the room. If you guys are new to me, once again, feel free to click on Little Perry Guy. I'm going to review the 10X rule over the next 23 days. And I'm going to acknowledge those of you who are still in the room. So, Aaron, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you could find me back on an afternoon scope. It's been a little while, so I'm glad that you got me live. Carrie, thank you so much for always supporting. D, you know I love you. Sandra Bone, thank you for being here all the way from Hawaii. You must be working right now. Lisa Bechtel, your thumb must be tired. I think she took the lead on the hearts. Jean, thank you so much for being here. Nancy, I appreciate you being here. So, Rewired, do me a quick favor, Rewired. You're new to Periscope, and I appreciate you being here. Do yourself and me a favor. This is the coach and me. Sorry. Do all of us a favor. I love that you are into dogs and theater and music and art and dog training and peace and all this, but I want to acknowledge you by name. So I love that your handle's Rewired. Above that in your profile, can you let us know your name? Because the sweetest sound that we all have is the sound of our own name. And I'd like to acknowledge you by your name. And I can't see this. If you're putting it now, I can't see it because I'm reading these other things. John Foster, thank you for being here and supporting. And Coach Avalos, thank you for being here. You guys are phenomenal. I'm going to share this with you. I am the inventor or the founder, not the inventor because I didn't invent scope trains, but I do the scope train here on Periscope tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. There are a couple. Ruben, thank you so much for letting me know. We got two Rubens in the room because Teach All I Know is here also. Ruben, thank you for being here. If you want to go to ryanroy.me/train, you can see what that's all about. It's for new broadcasters, guys. If you want to broadcast in front of an audience, I bring my audience. It's every Tuesday night at 8:30. There's a couple spots available. If you would like to do it, I send you a script, a little bit of what you could talk about. It's a 5-minute broadcast that is packed full of love and appreciation for who you are, and it's a great way for you to introduce yourself to a new audience. So again, ryanroy.me/train, and I'm going to say thank all of you for being here today. I appreciate you, and I want to acknowledge you for showing up here. Your time is the most valuable asset you have, and you chose to spend it here with me today. So for that, I thank you, and I do not take it for granted. Till tomorrow, in tomorrow's Quote Scope, I'll see you then, guys. Bye.